Hello my beautiful lights, welcome back to the channel. So, I'm on camera, yeah, because last night there was this shift in energy, and I'm speaking of shift. I'm just going to be completely honest. Now, a lot of people and a lot of masters will say, oh, don't point out your weaknesses, don't do this. I'm a truth channel. So I am going to be as straight as a die here and honest as anything. You know, it was going through this shift frequency. My ladies arrived last night, bearing in mind we work with collective energy, and they were floored. They were floored. I've had the week from you know what, and I can feel this energy, and I said, right, let's transmute it. Let's transmute this darkness into power. Through movement. Movement is so very important, which is why I need to speak to you today. And it was shifting the vibration, shifting the energy through you. Now, obviously you can do such things as Reiki and stuff like that, but the movement of the body is really, really important. And the reason I'm speaking about this is because we shifted the frequency. Now, I felt this energy, it was quite low. Okay, so the week has been sort of low, and it's sort of been very, it's not all week. It's like a roller coaster frequency this week. Now, excuse the planes going over. Obviously, we've had a huge solar flare. Am I allowed to say that, or I'm going to be put on the naughty step again? Do you know what? I'm always on the naughty step. I'm past caring. So yeah, they're going over. So excuse the noise in the background. So basically, it's the opening of truth. Now, I've made notes. It's sort of saying, you know, we faced the shadows we didn't know we were still carrying. They felt heavy. And it's kind of this brutal release that we were feeling this frequency to move through. But when you let them go, you discover something. The shadow wasn't the end. And that's the important thing. And when I'm talking about facing the shadows, you know, this is a continuous journey, guys. This is an evolutionary journey. So shadows come in. Now, things we thought we'd healed, we probably haven't. And it's understanding them so we can move through the energy. The shadow wasn't the end. It's simply a doorway. It's a doorway. And on the other side, you feel light and free. But that's through transmutation. Transmutation, turning darkness and pain into power, is one of the biggest lessons you can learn upon this earth. So, you know, I speak from truth, because I'm not going to sit here saying my life is absolutely perfect, because that would be absolute toffee, and I don't lie. It's a vibrational shift. I go through life just like you do. My ladies, my collective, go through life just like you do. We are trying to navigate this earthly school together, and it's actually learning that these obstacles will still come into our existence in form. It's just how we deal with them from a higher state of consciousness, from a higher being energy, and understanding that, yeah, happens. It literally does. Can't say that word on YouTube. And it literally does happen, and how you can transmute that into power. Now, it's been very sword energy, as I pointed out the other day. Sword energy frequency, it's sort of chop and remove. And it's this fire that is lit within you. It's like a no BS meter, as I said to my ladies last night. It's sort of like you are understanding that what you let in your vibrational frequency really, really matters. And you're rejecting the lower frequencies or things that make you feel that way within the 3D realm, which has given you this 5D and above experience. Now, the universe has been speaking yesterday, and it was speaking a lot. You know, the crows called out, the guardians of the in-between, and it reminds us that endings are not death, they're simply this transformation. And it's going through this transformational shift right now. You can feel this happening within you, and this is within your 3D world as well. And this shift is taking place because it's like a rebirth. It's a frequency rebirth. And then the winds of change came in, and the numbers 1515 and 0555. You know, it was quite fierce. There's no apology here. There's no gentleness with this stage. And, you know, I'm just going to be to the point, because there was no gentleness. It was like a force is coming through the vibration, and it's sweeping away what no longer belongs, and it's carrying us to these new timelines of energy. And the numbers appeared with us. There were codes. So the 0808 I put out this morning, that was the infinite loop. the phoenix code of the death and the rebirth energy, if I can put my teeth in today. And the 1515, the winds of change in motion, freedom through this courage of energy. And this is why you need your sword and your fire right now. It's Archangel Michael energy. And it's sort of no BS, cut through it and move forward. It's quite forceful. And then the 1818 can come in, and it's the alignment of abundance and stepping into the higher path that's already yours. And it's understanding that these numbers come into our experience because they're a sequence, they're a code of our evolutionary journey, and it's understanding them at a deeper level. Now, when you piece all the puzzle together, every single aspect of it, you know, the birds, every nature, everything that you can feel, and you understand it, puts it into alignment of great understanding. And that's how it's meant to be. So the teaching here is the shadows cannot be healed in the mind alone. It lives in the body, okay? We can help reprogram the subconscious mind, you know, through our affirmations, through our powers of positivity, through our release and surrender, absolutely. But mind, body and spirit, which is why I teach all three, is essential during this lifetime. And when we move energy, it actually releases it. It can't just be healed in the mind alone. It lives in the body and must be moved. When we dance, when we breathe, when we sweat, when we shake the chains loose, it really moves the energy. Like, you can feel like this Kundalini power almost last night, and it was all hip work, and it was sensual, it was sexy, and it was everything it was meant to be. And it was moving the energy through the vibrational shift that we were experiencing. And it's just sort of supporting the universe as well. You know, we say the universe supports us, but we have to move with the energy in order to support what the universe is moving for us, through us, this great change we're going through. So today, what the angels are saying, and you can feel the fire within me now, right, is set the intention just like we did. We set this intention of power last night so we can transmute whatever was clinging, whatever we were working through, into power of ourselves, so we can release this beautiful fire within, open our hearts to the capacity of love and understanding, because we can't truly open our hearts until we work through this energy, right? Because our hearts, the natural instinct we have is to go, oh, don't hurt me, I can't feel this pain, I don't want to feel this pain. So we need to move the energy to understand the pain and release, so we can open this beacon once more. And then this beacon turns into this gorgeous light, and you lead your life with this knowing and understanding of who you are, you know, warts and all. And I am so vulnerable on this channel because vulnerability is a superpower. You've been taught differently. Oh, don't show your weaknesses. Your weaknesses, or what the 3D say your weaknesses are actually your superpower, because when you understand them, you incorporate your frequency with it, and it's sort of like you nurture that energy and you place your beautiful wings around it to understand. And our weaknesses are not weaknesses, they are lessons, and when we understand the lessons, we can move forward with grace and understanding. So today, tonight, even whenever you're free, we call you to walk through the 008 gateway, to step into your soul power. Let the winds of change carry you and rise with the crows, flying into this new dawn of frequency, which is amazing. Every shadow is transmuted into strength. Every ending is the seed of a greater beginning. It's simply the seed, and all seeds are planted under the soil in the dark, and it takes a while for them to be seen above the earth and to sprout, right? And it's understanding that divine timing and patience is part of this earthly existence. It's part of our lesson, right? And every number is an activation code unlocking within you. The 0808 is the phoenix frequency. It's rising from the ashes in a beautiful form. The 1515 is the winds of freedom, and you found your wings through the phoenix frequency and you're flying high. And the 1818, which was the other number we got yesterday, was the abundance of alignment. And it's understanding the abundance of alignment within your 3D realm. So you're bringing this 5D experience and above down into your earthly plane, which is absolutely phenomenal. And that is the power you actually hold. You're just taught differently. And when we use a collective frequency, together we ignite that frequency. Together we rise with this energy, and together we burn brighter than ever before. And just say that and feel that with me now. Let's say it together. Let's say it together, angels, indeed. Together we ignite. Together we rise. Together we burn brighter than ever before. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is, and so it shall be, my beautiful lights. So the lesson here is to allow the energy to move. You know, say this with me now. I release, I rise, I burn, I ignite. I am infinite, I am free, I am the phoenix, so mote it be. Just because we felt a rhyme vibe there going. So, you know, and it's actually casting this out into the universal energies and directing the frequency, and then the universe can follow suit. So when you understand your power, when you really know the power you hold, you can use that transmutation and you can turn it into anything you choose, literally. So I turn it into abundance, probably slightly different to other people. I turn it into, I am going to ignite this power within me. I want to be fit. I want to be healthy. Healthy, wealthy, everything. Okay. So it was transmuting into power allows me to be the bright beacon and lighthouse I am. You know, I have these beautiful pockets of light all around, all collective, right? And I build these communities of energy. For the reason is, when I was going through my spiritual awakening, when I started my evolutionary journey, I didn't have that support. And that's the truth. You know, I journeyed through with sort of like, I'd like to say hood on. I couldn't see where I was going at all, and navigating it was really difficult. So I do this in order to aid people upon their evolutionary path, because I know it's hard to navigate, and knowledge is power. And when you have the knowledge, I believe knowledge should be shared. It's a divine gift that is gifted to us. We learn through our experiences, but it doesn't have to be as difficult as, say, it was for me. And my path was difficult because I had to learn every single aspect of it. You know, we are the tree, and the amount of branches I swayed off was unreal, and it was all a lesson, and I always came back to the main trunk, but it just took some time. But it was part of my evolutionary journey. I couldn't have compassion or understand my clients, my beautiful collective, if I hadn't been through that vibration myself. So when I say I'm openly vulnerable on here, it's because I'm meant to be. It is a superpower. It is not a weakness. Why do I understand that? Because I've been through that vibrational frequency. You know, I work with mind, body and spirit because each aspect of mind, body and spirit have I released in this lifetime. And I'm not ashamed to say that. You know, we say it as if it's egotistical. It's not. I was 12.5 stone heavier, and now I teach a high impact, high frequency, high energy, and yes, the angels dance with us dance class every week. And that is because I set my free from my body. I was trapped in my own version of you know what, and it was about release. So have I released the body? Absolutely. The mind, you know, my mind has struggled in my youth. Absolutely. I've lost people I love, and I struggled working through that cycle of standing in my own power. I felt like I had no one in this world, and I had to build these communities in order to attract the same vibrational frequency. And, you know, I was the weird one. And, you know, I was, oh, she's a bit weird, isn't she? Absolutely I am. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I get my beautiful flag and I wave it so all my fellow weirdos can find me. It's absolutely wonderful. And it's the acceptance of self that I understood. When I accept myself, others accept me fully too. And that's the vibration also. And the spirit is setting that spirit free. It's that full integration of self, and it's understanding you are who you are, and who you are is a blooming wonderful and magical thing. So never apologize for who you are. So this is what it's all about. It's the integration. And the angels wanted me to speak to you today about this, because we had the conversation last night, and we are a collective of energy in that vicinity, and we're a collective of energy in that vicinity, and it all interlocks as in a beautiful heart frequency. Now, yes, it's been a struggle. Yes, we're going through this change. Yes, we're going through this shift, but we need to move the energy through us to help the universe move the energy with us, okay? So it's understanding that squeaky chair. It's understanding that it's okay to feel like that. It's okay to have a day where you feel, oh my goodness, I'm a bit emotional today, or I need to rest. Listen to your mind, body and spirit. Your mind, body and spirit will tell you the vibration of that day. We are in the now. It is so, so very important that we live in the now, because when we overthink the future, it causes the anxiety. When we think to the past too much, we causes, elements of depression. And it's understanding that if we're in the now, we can sort of break it down into bite-sized pieces, step-by-step vibrational frequency. That step-by-step is so important, which is why I incorporate it in all my meditations. That is my thing. And you'll always hear that, because it's a step-by-step evolutionary journey. We can't run through this journey. Now, also, I need to point this out, and I do, angels, you're absolutely right. When I say, or anybody says to you about healing, and we've got to do the healing to move forward, absolutely. But when that time is right for that vibration to be healed, you will feel it. You will feel it. I can't tell you to heal from somebody you've lost like that. No, you have to journey through the grief. It's part and parcel of your human experience. If you've loved someone you've lost, you're going to feel every ounce of that, right? And it's understanding that you allow that time to heal, because healing is our biggest thing here. If we hadn't lost, how we would know love? We wouldn't fully, would we? And it's a part and process. If we understand every emotion and how we journey through it, you're a spiritual being having a human experience, and each thing is a lesson or a blessing upon the path. And it's understanding that we work through this step by step. There are no instructions here, just simply guidelines and direction. And how you understand this journey is a step at a time. You are not meant to be here and rush through. You can go through this vibration and you'll be like, yes, I've done this, and this, and this, and this. And, I say I'm a master in energy. I'm forever mastering energy. So I don't believe in mastery. And, my fellow masters will be like, oh, Lauren. And you know what? I'm always on the naughty step. I don't care. I don't believe in mastery for the simple reason is we are forever mastering oneself. Things will come into our 3D world where we have to journey through that vibration. We have to journey through that void. There are many different voids. There are many different rebirths. There are many different shifts in our existence. And it's understanding that that's exactly how it's meant to be. So, God's source is the master of energy, as I see it. And how we understand frequency, energy and vibration is we master our own individual world to our best of our capacity, and then we ripple that vibrational frequency out to others, which will aid their stages of mastery in their experience. And as a collective consciousness, we're supposed to journey together through this frequency. And, it sounds so hippie, it's a low vibration. It so is a low vibrational frequency, right? So, when this is healed to a capacity in which we can heal, because things come into our 3D world and it just goes out again, right? And we have to then heal again. And you're like, we're on this cycle. And we are in this cycle, but that's a learning cycle. It's very different to the Matrix. Because as you start to master energy, your mind, body and spirit, then you master the energy around you. And that is the vibrational frequency in which you will project. So all of a sudden, when you're going through this evolutionary journey, people, places and things will fall away naturally. They're absolutely meant to. And what happens is the new frequency shift within you, then you will vibrate and bring the right frequencies into your heart when you're at that level. Now, what's happening is you're shifting all the time. People, places and things will either shift with you and meet you at that vibration, or they'll lower, or they'll fall away completely. And that's absolutely fine. It's not awful, it's just a different chapter. So when you're reading a book, you go into the next chapter, and the next chapter, and the next chapter. This is your evolutionary journey of many, many chapters, many awakenings, many part and parcels of your soul evolutionary journey. And it's life. This is what you've chose to do. This is your sole choice. You made this decision when you came here. And that sounds harsh as anything, but you've got to take a big part of the responsibility here, because when we take responsibility for our own existence, our life will shift like that. It will shift like that. You know, if we don't look after our vessels in any form, if we sit and eat absolute all day, then we're going to feel like absolute all day. And that's just honesty. You know, Queen of Swords again. Oh, she's brutal, isn't she? Straight to the point, straight to the point. And that is the truth here. Mind, body and spirit, when it is the divine triangle, the trinity of energy, and you incorporate every single aspect of it, then you have the divinity within you. So if that is you, dancing around the kitchen, in your pants, it doesn't matter. Enjoying the frequency of energy. If that is you, singing your heart out in the shower or walking down the road with your headphones, boogieing, do it. Because moving the energy through you is so important. I dance clean, I train in the morning, and I clean my house. 2 birds, 1 stone, never hurt a bird, obviously, no, never. But it's sort of that frequency. So I'm working as well, because it is my job, and I am dance cleaning, so my house is clean, and it's a little routine. It's part of my self-care, because I appreciate, and it's a state of gratitude I hold for my home, and it's a return of energy. And you'll notice that with the infinite loop, the return of energy, what you put out you'll receive, and that's when it all shifts. And what else do you want to say, angels? It's the infinite loop. It's the number 8 again, but it's sideways. It's the infinite loop. So what you put out, you will receive. And it's the same frequency as in everything in my world. So my home, if I put into it, it gives back in a beautiful way. I appreciate it. I love a clean home, absolutely. It's just part of who I am. I like organisation to the best of my ability, and that's absolutely fine too. Do I go with the flow of energy? Absolutely, absolutely. But I always have a direction of flow. And I know, okay, so today I'm going to do this, this, this and this. With the messages, not so much. I allow the universe to take charge of that, and that's absolutely fine. That's my release and surrender. And when I feel a vibe, I will speak it. If I don't, I won't, and it's that simple. But with my daily routine, with my home life, my family life, my work life, I have to have a certain amount of structure, absolutely. But I allow that flow to take place. And when we live our lives like that, it enables us to move with the energy, and that's what it's about. Move with the energy. So I will stop talking now, because I've got to go to work. So it's all go. Until next time, my beautiful lights, from the angels and I. Bye bye for now.